These flowers are flowers that are really loved by bees. And I want you to notice that there are no bees on this flower. Now, if this flower was at Multi-Night Farm, it'd be covered in bees. And what you can do is I'm going to basically sit here and film for 1 minute these flowers. And I want you to film your flowers for 1 minute and see if you see any bees. Because you can count the number of bees hitting your flowers to determine how healthy your area is for bees. Japan basically is one of the highest abusers of systemic pesticides. And these pesticides basically are water soluble, and they dilute into the water, and any insect consuming this toxic poison, right, is going to die. The thing is, with pesticides, it doesn't matter how much or how little. All it does is vary how fast that insect is going to die. That's it. And all these plants go all the way down. I'm just showing you how big this area is. All the way down. So all these people out there, and it's funny because last year it was all about planting flowers, planting flowers, planting flowers. And I was the guy going, the bees aren't starving, idiots. The bees are being poisoned. And finally this year, my message, and it's being heard by others, is finally getting out. And people are realizing that it is systemic pesticides like the neonics from Monsanto and Bayer that are directly responsible, without any question, for killing these bees. So this is 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I got carried away talking. This bee, this flower, here's a western honeybee right here. And the only reason why there's a bee on this flower here, and you see his sacs, I don't know if you can see him through the things there, right there. You see him? That's a western honeybee. That's not a Japanese bee. That's a beekeeper's bee. And there's a couple of them on here. And the reason is, now we're within the range of the beekeeper, which is, there's a beekeeper around here. See a little bee there? Those bees are only here because there's a beekeeper keeping them. Here he is. Here's another one. See him flying around? And the beekeeper lives where that hill is, right across from me, up there. That's his house. Actually that's the temple, but next to it is his house. So they're collecting pollen, but they're the only ones. I don't see any other. I don't see any native species. There's another one there. Here. There's a girl's there collecting. But they're the only ones. Actually, right here is a mason bee. Right here is a mason bee. This is a mason bee right here, little bee there. That's a mason bee. So there are a few bees. They're making it. And this guy, they've been gardening here, and they're probably living in the woods over there. So as long as they're, not away, this water here, if they drink from this water around here, these town bulls, they're gonna die. This is an amazing garden. One of the most amazing gardens in my area. And as you can see, she's got herbs here growing up. And here's a bumblebee. Look at that bumblebee down here. Can I see you? Where are you? Look at all this red clover growing up here. This is red clover. Actually, this is crimson clover. This isn't red clover. I'm going to come here. This is actually, what's it called? Chime. I'm going to come here and get these seeds. I want to show you how amazing this garden is, if I can get up high. Here's a carpenter bee up there. See a carpenter bee. This big old girl right here. Why can't I not? Where's my friggin... I don't know why I'm not being able to catch these bees. But look at the flowers. I love this garden. This is great. This is a good example of permaculture type garden. And she got wildflowers growing and got flowers going way up here too. Look at that. I'm getting close to my farm, and this isn't a bee. That's a fly. These are flies on here, not bees. You see the things. Now this guy's a bee. That's a bee, and we're really close to this guy. But these big ones, the big ones there, that's a fly, not a bee. There's another one. But this here is a western. This is a western bee right here, millefred. Could be Italian. I don't know, but those are western bees here. I'm getting closer. I'm actually, this is I was videotaping over there. Okay, I rode across the road. Up there is the temple, and I'm down here in this garden. And I really love the way chamomile, all these different flowering plants they've got growing here. And all this seed, look at all this seed. That's a fly. Right there's a fly, not a bee. But if this was a healthy habitat, this would be chock-a-block full of bees. There would be bees all over this. Right, I'm going to show you videotaping my farm and show you how many bees and stuff do I have hitting. All these flowers are pretty much beeless. This is a great herb. And this red clover. There is a bumblebee. A little bumblebee there. It's a bumblebee grabbing clover. It loves red clover. Red clover is a great bee food, and I'm going to grab some seed here. And I'm going to get this growing at my house and with my, I mean this is crimson clover, not red clover. I have red clover. This is bee balm. Look at that. She's got a line of bee balm. I have not seen, this is only the second place in Japan other than my farm and actually my mentor's farm that I've seen bee balm. This is pretty amazing. I love this flower. It hasn't flowered yet. It'd be interesting to see the bees on this. That's a nice patch she has there, bee balm. This here is also, I don't know what this herb is called, but this is also a really good herb. And if anyone knows what this is, I learned about this just the other day, but it keeps insects away. Right? So this is obviously a natural farmer. Organic, she's an organic farmer, the woman that comes here. I'm going to try to interview her next time I see her. I love her farm, but she has flowers. She doesn't have a lot of, you know, edibles out here. I see beans, but that's about it. But again, so few bees. What she's missing is trees. Those are obviously probably something edible. But look at these here. See the bee? These are solitary bees. There are some bees out here on this chamomile and other flowers and the red clover. You see how this is like a salad bar of mix. But all it takes is for these bees. You see them? That's a solitary bee, maybe a mason bee. I'm not very familiar with all the types of solitary bees. But as you can see, there's a great smorgasbord. And over there is death. That water over there is full of agrochemicals. They put pesticides down there. And if any of these bees get in that water, it's finito el bio. I just want to make a comment on this here. This is wisteria or Fuji, and an interesting thing happened this year. It really didn't flower. There were a few flowers on it, but it didn't flower like it did the year before. Now I wonder if it has anything to do with climate change, because what I noticed this year compared to last year is we had a very, very long winter spring. It was extremely cold. It was really cold all the way through March and April, pretty much April, right? March and April, really cold. And Fuji is a very early flowering shrub bush. So I was gonna make wisteria syrup for herb sweetener, but this wisteria didn't flower. Now I did notice it flowering in the mountains and other places. I don't know why, but this wisteria didn't. And it's left me a little bit perplexed.